Hello, everyone. Welcome to Agile Minds Romania. I'm Mihai Olaru. I'm excited to be here with my coordinating partner, Bogdan Basilescu. Also from the partners in Agile Minds Romania, Florin Manolescu and Cristina Lupu, who will be joining throughout the event, and to welcome you together with our speaker tonight, which I'm going to introduce very shortly, Raluca Păduraru. Together, we are passionate about fostering agility in all domains, whether you're a seasoned Agile veteran or you're just scratching the surface, you're learning on your journey. This is the place to share insights, to learn from each other and improve our way of working. So welcome, everyone. Today, as mentioned, we are welcoming Raluca Păduraru to facilitate this workshop. She is a facilitator, right? And also an AI strategist. And she looks into AI literacy, AI implementations, and agility and leadership. She has expertise in designing interactive workshops that blend science, foresight techniques, and storytelling to create memorable learning connections and experiences. So I'm opening the stage. Welcome, Raluca, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi, Mihai. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the lovely introduction. I am very happy to be here, especially since I am a fan of this community, since it was very, very small, and I've attended several events, and I've gotten a lot of value from them. So my aim today, my goal today, is to provide you with a little bit of value as well. So hopefully this will be an interactive session. I am looking forward to having a discussion rather than a monologue. And those of you who know me or have worked with me know that I am very open to questions, to debates, to challenges. So feel free to unmute yourself and just ask or raise your hand or write in chat, whichever is more comfortable for you. I'm more than happy with it. And if that sounds good, I have shared a Miro board. I will give you the link. No worries. Oh, thank you, Bogdan. But before you go on the Miro board itself, I would like just to go through the agenda a bit and open up the topic, and then together we will explore the Miro board. Okay? If that sounds good, then we can dive into the agenda. Today's session is called Retro Like You Mean It. It's meant to be a session about retrospective of our own year. So we will be looking back at 2025 and seeing how things are going for each and every one of us. And we will begin with a fun little exercise, which I called Lego Serious Duck. This is inspired by the Lego Serious Play methodology, for those of you who know it. Then we will discuss a bit about what makes a retro. So what are the main characteristics? Then we will have some fun with the Sailboat retrospective. We will be discussing the 15% solutions, and this is a liberating structures methodology for those of you who are aware of it. And we will finish with a nice little wrap-up. I must warn you, however, that while I do have a lot of energy and I am looking forward to seeing how everything works out together, you will be doing most of the work. We will have a lot of hands-on exercises, a lot of hands-on introspection and reflection, and hopefully the outcome which you will get is that you will get a pattern and a move that you can make within 3 days. This is my mission for you. So I like to begin most of my sessions with a nice little introductory quote. And this time I chose one by Henrik Kindberg. And this guy is basically an AI whisperer. He's one of the people that I look up to, given that I am an AI interested person myself. And he said something which is very, very relevant for agility in general and for retrospectives in particular. And this is, the important thing is not your process. The important thing is your process for improving your process. So basically, what he is saying is that we should be always aiming at continuous improvement, continuous iteration. And of course, this is not a new idea for Agile or for agility because it's the ground work for it. However, I think it really does summarize very nicely what a retrospective should look like. So the process itself is not important. What really matters is the process that improves the process. So maybe you are wondering who is this person, who is this girl, and how or why is she so suitable to give us a retrospective highlight workshop. And I am Raluca, as Mihai introduced me. I have a certification in Agile leadership, which I took in London about 6 years ago. And since then, I have become really engaged in agility, and I use it for most of my practice. I have worked in various corporations for almost 20 years in management and leadership positions. And more than 3 years ago, I quit my job. And right now, I am working as an independent consultant and learning experience designer. And like I said, I implement the Agile methodology in most of my deliveries and workshops. Hopefully, you will get a look of that today. So, I promised you we will start with a fun little exercise, and I do hope that most of you have access to a browser and to Miro in that browser. However, for those of you who don't, you can watch the exercise as it unfolds on your screens. Basically, and I will call everyone to me, basically we have here a board full of potential ducks, right? So we have very many little boxes, and in each box we have 7 pieces, 7 Lego pieces. And your mission basically is to form a duck from these 7 pieces. And you can use your imagination. There is an only rule, and that rule is that we need to use these resources. We can't create any other resources, and we have to work within a timestamp, 3 minutes. And of course, you can, if you don't know how to use Miro, a crash course in it is that you can drag and drop things, and you can also arrange them with page up and page down in order to, move the layers and bring one piece in front of the other. Any questions so far? Because if not, I will start the timer.
Just to make sure, this is not collaborative exercise. It's a single person exercise for each one of us, right?
Yes, and some people have already started working, so I will start the timer.
You're already cheating.
That's called cheating, exactly. The timer has started. You can stop the music if it annoys you. You can stop the music by clicking this diffusor. I'm not sure how to say it in English. Yes, here.
Speaker.
Speaker, thank you. And after you are done, when you are done with your duck, I would like to invite you to grab a sticky from this pile or from this pile, doesn't really matter, and just name your duck, give your creation a name. People are making some nice progress. Some very nice progress. And we have 2 minutes left. We have a finished duck, and it is named Victor's Atrocity. Nice. One minute and a half.
I think I prefer the Sora version that I created.
Come on, it's not that bad. I think.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no, it's not a beauty contest.
Don't worry, Victor. I'm also very bad at drawing. Luckily, I can use the mouse, but
Less than 1 minute. Don't forget to name your duck when you are done.
I'm actually amazed by the quality of the duck, considering my drawing skills, I mean.
Scrum duck. We have another named duck here, my scrum duck. Franken duck. Okay. I like your imagination. Ducky. Okay, we have a ducky here. I think she is swimming, I think. So the time is up. Please don't forget to name your duck. I can see at least 2 ducks which are unnamed. I can bring a sticky for you and you can just write your duck's name. Fry duck. Okay. Duckish. This one is out of the box, literally. Yeah, it's out of the box. Okay, so let's tour the Franken ducks. Okay. I think this looks more like a giraffe, maybe. I'm not sure. Or like a dino, you know, like the Loch Ness monster, maybe. I think. This one is flying. Thank you, Anna. It looks lovely. Victor's atrocity we already discussed. I don't think it's that atrocious, to be honest. I really don't. Okay, this one is unnamed. What would you like to call it? You can write in chat if you can do it here. Or you can write on the sticky. I think this one is the closest. However, not all the pieces of the Lego were used.
Simplicity.
Simplicity, yeah.
That person thought outside the box.
What does this screw do? Nothing. We can leave it out. Fried duck, okay. I like fried duck. I think he's eating something. Then we have duck quack, and this is very nice as well. Duckish Bianca, it's a very nice one. I think it's a baby duck, right? It's like a baby duck and it's getting ready to spread its wings. Very nice. I have a lot of imagination, as you can see. Then we have a alien duck. I agree, it's alien, yes. This one is still unnamed and I think it's a very good duck, so you should name it. You should give it a name. And then we have Ducky by Claudio, which is swimming, I guess. Yeah, and it's also a very clean duck. Thank you for playing with me. Please don't forget to name your duck. Oh, we have also stranger duck. I don't think I discussed. Okay, stranger duck. Stranger ducker. Okay. Good. So I really like how everyone used the placement of the eyes, right? I think everyone did the eyes very well, if we are to discuss it. And I would like to congratulate you because this is actually a very difficult exercise. And in 3 minutes, you accomplished a lot, like a lot. So I'm curious, when I gave you the 7 pieces, what did you assume about what a duck looks like? Because everyone made some assumptions, right?
I will be honest, I completely forgot what a duck looks like for a second. I was just scrambling to figure out, oh, have I ever seen a duck?
Yeah, fair point. Thank you, Anda. What else?
Have to
I
wing.
started with the basic things, the head, the beak.
Okay, the basics.
Tried to create the wings, but it was a fail.
Head, wings. Okay, thank you, Claudio.
I must admit that I started the exercise later and I had a look at what the others did first. And then
Okay.
started my masterpiece.
Inspiration, basically. What else? What did you assume? Like, I believe everyone assumed that the picture that we had on one of the pieces was an eye, right? Because everyone used it as such. Victor, please.
Yeah, I actually wanted to, I muted myself to say that basically my assumption was that I will use the eye as the front of the duck. It's going to be the way it looks at stuff.
Yeah.
It faces, that's the word I was looking for.
Yes, excellent. Great. Bogdan, please.
My goal was to create something that looks a bit normal and then build from there. So the goal wasn't to create the duck.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you. Okay. Another assumption that we have on the board is 2 red pieces equal legs, maybe legs. I guess someone else could look at the same 2 red pieces and say that they were feet, right?
I definitely thought they were for wings. I don't know why.
Sorry, beak, not. Oh, you thought they were the wings.
Yes.
I was thinking exactly the same.
So, yeah, 3 interpretations for the same kind of symbolism. Okay, thank you. Then, moving on. From these 7 pieces, what do you think is this? Because I saw that not everyone used all the 7 pieces, right? So which of these is the essential of being a duck and which is just noise?
I saw there are 2 pieces the same, the red pieces. I was like, it's extra. I only used one.
Okay, great.
The one by 2 pieces, I think, for me, at least one of them was extra.
The yellow pieces.
Yeah, 1 by 2.
Okay. Good, thank you.
For me, it could have just been the headpiece, the body piece, and the 2 red pieces, or even one from an angle, and you could kind of figure out it's a duck.
Okay, now we're getting there somewhere. Good. So maybe basically the head, the body. I guess this is the body, right?
Yeah, that's what I assume.
So the head, the body, and one of the red pieces. Okay, fair enough. So we have someone agreeing. Head and eye is essential. Good. So basically out of 7, maybe 3 pieces are essential. That's nice. And moving on, I am curious because we had like no duck looked alike. Like even if you guys inspired from each other, no 2 ducks looked alike, right? So that means they were creative variants. What enabled you to be creative? Yes, Victor.
First of all, it was the pieces themselves, of course, and second of all, it was for me just going with the flow.
Going with the flow, excellent. So going with the flow. And what about the pieces themselves? You mentioned.
I think they provided the limit.
Okay. Combined. Flexible requirements. No, I mock-up. I like this. This is from an UX engineer, someone. Okay.
No.
No. Okay. The limited time, straightforward objectives, no details, right? Okay. So basically, I just provided an objective without any how to get there.
I'm also thinking that some of us maybe thought that we should use all of the pieces and make them fit, and some of us thought that I'll just use what I need and that's it.
Yes. So how would we summarize this? Different approaches, 2 resources. Not having seen a dog recently, I love this. This definitely fosters creativity, right? Not having seen one. Yep. Okay. Good. And I am going to make a point, right? Corina, it's okay. We will wait for you right here. So I am going to make a point about this, of course, because we had basically the same kind of inputs. Everyone left the board or started on the board with the same 7 pieces, with the same time limit, with the same instructions, vague instructions, basically. And however, we somehow ended up with a lot of different inputs. So this is the same about retrospectives and methodologies in general. We have the same cadence. However, there are a lot of different outcomes. And these different outcomes happen most of the time because we make different assumptions. So this is why, like in a bank, a retrospective can look very, very different than it can look, I don't know, in a fintech company. You know, they kind of have the same purpose and they kind of serve with the same tools. However, they have very different mindsets, which means that they make very different assumptions. At the same time, the constraints are also kind of different, you know, because a bank is much more regulated than a fintech company, or a bank has to uphold much more legislation than a fintech company, and so on. So then what really matters actually in the outcome that we get is what we consider as signal and what we consider as noise. And this is why I was trying to find out, okay, what are the essentials about being a duck? And the thing is that out of all the ways to do retrospectives, from my perspective or from my experience, the sailboat method is the ones that makes us put a very, very explicit label on each of these kind of things in order to understand which is signal and which is noise. Because basically a lot of the decisions that we make are based on this kind of assumptions, which can either be biased or they can be downright false, or they can be created artificially based on noise. And I'm sure that all of you have kind of seen companies make bad decisions which were due to not looking at the right data. And this is where the sailboat comes in. So just very, very short, what makes a retro a retro? How can we know what is essential for a retro? And basically, in my experience, it's very different than a post-mortem. So it's important not to treat a retrospective as we do a post-mortem, because retrospectives are all about learning cadence. So it's about how fast we learn, how fast we adjust, how fast we iterate. And basically what a retro should never have is these 4 anti-patterns. And that is blame. A retrospective should never aim to find, you know, guilty persons or things. It should be focused on solutions. And then it should never have a wish list, you know, so it should have real action points, not wish lists. No action items is a very red flag for a retrospective. It means that basically we met and at the end of the day, the meeting didn't serve anyone. Nothing really moved, nothing really happened. And also no follow-ups. It's very bad when we don't have a follow-up after a retrospective. So we should have some next steps, some owners for these next steps, but we should also have an agreed way to follow up on these steps. So who will contact who, what will happen when, things like that. However, we also have 4 quality markers for retrospectives, and that is, the first one is clarity. So basically everyone should understand exactly what is being said, exactly what is being agreed, and everyone should be clear on the next steps. A visual framework always helps with this. So I wouldn't say that a retro is not a retro if you don't have a visual framework. However, if you do want to have a retro which actually helps people, a visual framework does the trick. And this is because all of us have very different patterns of understanding, and most of us do better when there are at least 2 ways of communicating a message. So if we say it verbally and we also show a visual framework of what we are saying, then the message is more clear and more prone to reach the target. Then we also should have at least one decision. and at least one next step. So a retro which does not have a decision about how to move forward, and the next step, an action item about when, who moves forward, then basically it was just another meeting, which could have been an email most of the times. So it's very important to keep this in mind. And this is why the Sailboat retrospective helps a lot, because it's basically a tension map. It shows us the forces which drive our progress. And this can be positive forces or they can be negative forces. And this can be inner forces or they can be external forces. And basically we have wind, which is the external forces that help us. They blow wind in our sails so we can move forward. That's the metaphor. Then we have the sun, which is what motivated us, what inner forces helped us, you know, to drive the actions forward. Then we have the anchors, which is what held us back. And this is also inner forces. So like what inside of me, what inside the organization held the projects back. The reefs are the future risks that might emerge. So this is like me looking a bit forward into the future and trying to anticipate what might go wrong. And this is the reef, what might go wrong. And the goal is, of course, the most important thing on the board. It's where we are going. If we don't know where we are going, then we cannot actually identify correctly neither of these kind of forces. And like, I think Alice in Wonderland, there is a saying in the book, and it goes like, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So you don't actually need a plan or a retrospective for that. But what is very, very important is that a useful retrospective gives clarity, and Sailboat kind of helps with separating signals from noise and helping you to make a decision about something that you can control. Any questions so far? No? Good. Because then I propose that we play a bit. And I will zoom out just 1 second. You probably already explored the board and saw. We have a lot of small boats for everyone. Everyone will work independently on their own page. However, if you are using a phone and you can't really join on Miro, it's okay. You can actually do the same kind of exercise on the note application on your phone. Or if you are driving, you can just reflect on it and consider, you know, all of these factors. And I have made an example just as a source of inspiration so you guys can understand. Basically, I was looking at my year at 2025, how is it going? And I remembered what my goal for this year was. I wrote it on this pink post-it, and this is the first thing that you guys should do as well, after writing your name, of course, to claim your board. So just look back at the beginning of the year. What was your goal for 2025? What did you want to achieve? What were the things that you were very super focused on? And then I went through each of the factors. I started with the wind and the anchors. So I started with the external, and then I went to the internal. So for the wind, I was looking at things that helped me move forward. And this was including people, you know, any kind of resources that I have. What kind of motivates me, what makes me have this kind of energy, drive, the fact that I love learning, the fact that people have validated my work, things like that, you know, things that are around me, my network, and so on. Then for anchors, things that hold me back. And here I am looking at the external things that are happening around me and which are kind of impacting my goal. This can be fiscal changes, the fact that the budgets went to zero very, very fast, the fact that there are limiting beliefs around AI and things like that, or the fact that sometimes I didn't understand that I should pivot and I didn't do it in time. Then looking at the sun, basically what makes me feel good, what motivates me. I've also reflected a bit on that. And for the future risks, I tried to anticipate what might happen until the end of the year, which will not help me. So the fact that budgets are still staying at zero, despite the fact that I work with AI might itself might also be a risk for me. The fact that there are too many conferences and events and I have too little time to exercise, so things like this. And yeah, before we dive in, any kind of questions, curiosities? I think Diana is back. I'll admit her. If there are no further questions or curiosities, we can just dive in. Claim your board by writing your name on the pink post-it on top, and then write your goal for 2025. And then you can explore the 4 forces on the board. And if that's okay, I will start the timer, which is for 20, it's set for 12 minutes. So let's go.
We have elevator music.
Sorry.
We also have elevator music.
Yeah, you can stop it by pressing this button here. Yeah, elevator music. Just be careful to claim your board so that, you know, someone else doesn't steal it midway.
Can mark your board with the duck.
Seems like everyone is working. And those of you who are on your phone, please just do it on the notes kind of exercise. You can write, okay, what's my goal? What are the things that helped me forward? What is the wind? What are the anchors, the reefs, and the sun? And if you have any questions, I'm here. We have 10 minutes left.
It take me only 10 minutes to write a goal, not even concerning the others.
That means that we should do a goal setting exercise as well.
Sure.
Seems like the wind is going very good. Usually the reef is the more difficult to fill out. Seven minutes and a half. Okay, I see that the reef is starting to get filled out as well by several people. I love this. Victor wrote that he is 5% ChatGPT now. I can relate to that. A lot of us are being motivated by results. Yes, it helps. Another thing I can relate to is what Anna wrote under wind, clear boundaries. Yes, for sure, those help a lot. Christina is being motivated by people looking up to her, and I can understand that as well. So Anda, basically here you mentioned that you have changed your unhealthy eating habits, right? Under the wind.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Congrats on that. We have 4 minutes left, so in case you have not yet reached the reef section, this is your notice to do so. Okay. For Mihai, the fact that competition is taking similar steps is a confirmation that he is moving good in a good way. Great. For Claudio, AI is a driving force. Nice. Bianca is very happy about the amazing team that she's part of. That's very nice. And so rare. to appreciate your team. Very cool. We are slowly approaching the end of the exercise, so we have less than 3 minutes left. And of course, this kind of exercise usually is done in more than 12 minutes. So don't worry if you feel it's rushed, it actually is.
That's so soothing.
Alexandru mentioned in Riff too much pessimism, and then directly below, too much optimism. So it seems like both can be risky. Seems like budget constraints are mentioned a lot. I feel that. Oh, planning a wedding is going to be tough. However, I wish you best of luck, Victor. I'm sure it will be great. Bogdan's mission is wow. And we are entering in the last minute, by the way. So I am kind of curious to understand what was the easiest for you guys to do on the board?
From my point of view, I think it was the sun action.
The sun. Okay. So what makes you feel good? Okay. Anyone else?
I think it was the winds.
The winds?
The wind, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
As I said previously, it was the goal, I think.
But your goal is like, wow. So maybe that's why. So anyone else had issue with kind of anticipating what might go wrong, or are we very good at that?
As good as my duck at that.
Sorry?
I'm as good as my duck at that.
Okay. Daki agrees. Bianca, you wanted to add something?
Yes, I mean, I got the chance to find some things that might go wrong, but there are so many other uncertainties than we cannot think upon at this time. So I think it's quite uncertain in the future.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And for me, foresight and like kind of trying to anticipate what might happen is one of the big challenges and big hobbies that I have. and it's actually more and more complex. And most of the people who are like scientists, like real foresight scientists, they are saying that right now with everything that is happening, you can't really predict for more than like 6-8 months ahead. So anything beyond that kind of gets hazy. Yeah, okay. So we had difficulties with the sun, we had difficulties with the wind, with the goals. What else? And my question was, what was the easiest, right? What was the easiest?
The wind,
The wind. Okay.
at least from my perspective.
And why is that, Bogdan? Why do you think that is?
Because I tend to focus on the positive aspects rather than on the bad ones most of the time. So maybe that's why.
Okay, might be. Yes. Yes, Victor.
I was saying that the sun was the easiest for me.
Yeah, okay. The sun was the easiest. And why do you think that might be? Why the sun and not the wind?
I was just thinking about it, answering this question, and what came to my mind is basically because that's when serotonin kicks in, and you remember the good times.
Yes, serotonin helps a lot with that. Great, thank you. And if you are thinking about the most difficult part of this board, except for the goal, as Bogdan mentioned, like except for that, what would be the most difficult one? Yes, Victor.
I think the anchor,
The anchor.
because is there a question why?
Yes, please.
It follows.
And I think that because usually the anchor, it's supposedly something that already happened, and you've already passed through, you've already completed that. So I tend to forget.
Okay, so you
I
tend to
agree with
forget that.
Victor on the anchor, and I have some additions as well. I think most of the times we lie to ourselves, or we try to lie to ourselves. So that's why we never think too much about what held us back, because it would hurt us if we think about it. So at least that was my perspective on the anchor.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a different perspective. For me, this part was the easiest, and I had to stop myself from writing a lot. It's usually me. I am the anchor.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's also about self-awareness. Like, and Bianca, I saw that you raised your hand. Just 1 second. And I think it's still about what Victor said, because the people who tend to introspect a lot and to reflect on what is happening, they are more aware of what went wrong or what is going wrong. And then the people who kind of focus ahead a lot, they don't really think about these things. So for them, it's like a bit hazy. Yes, Bianca, please.
I wanted to mention that for me, the hardest part from this image was to settle the goal, because once I had the goal, it was very easy to think about all the 4 parts, but it was very tough to think about one goal by itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and that's very, very, very true. And of course, everything stems from the goal, right? So if we don't know where we're going, any road will get us there, like Lewis Carroll said in Alice in Wonderland. However, when we do know where we are going, it's very, very kind of easy to see the path towards that goal. So yeah, okay, great. Thanks for playing. Then the second part of our playful session today is about solutions, because we mentioned before that what a retrospective should really, really have is clarity and the visual framework, and the Sailboat does that. It gives us clarity on the goal, on the anchors, on the winds, and so on. And it's also quite visual. However, we are also missing the one decision and one next step, right? Because right now we know what 2025 was, how things happened. However, we don't really know what's going to happen next. So then this is the second part of the framework, which is 15% solutions. Corina is back from her urgent call. Hope everything is well. So what does this mean? What are 15% solutions? And basically, they are very small, concrete actions which you can start right now, and where you actually have the authority, the time, and the resources to already create some kind of visible movement towards the goal. So it's a 15% solution if you control it 100%, if you don't have to ask for approval. It's a 15% solution if you can start within the next 3 days. It's a 15% solution if it's very specific, very small, so you can finish it quickly, just to start momentum. And if it's a very safe to try action, which produces some kind of visible effect. So someone else has to see the effect as well, it has to be visible. And the template for this kind of solution is this. I will blank do this specific action by when, so that what kind of metric, what kind of impact am I looking for? So it's very simple, actually. It's called fancy, but it's very, very simple. The quick test, which I like to run whenever I decide like the next goal, the next step that I want to act on, is that I ask this kind of 3 questions. Can I start today? Can I do it without asking for permission? Will someone notice the results in 1-2 weeks? And if the answer to all of these questions is yes, then my solution is the right one and I can move forward with it. So it's quite easy. And now my invitation is for you to just like use a real notebook or your phone or whichever is more comfortable, for you, just to test out this kind of method. And my invitation is to pick one anchor or one reef which you wrote down in your sailboat. And for this one thing, one obstacle, write down one 15% solution. Before I start the timer, any questions? No? Seems like I am very clear today. That's great.
Very clear.
Very clear. Excellent. So then, one anchor or one reef. If you have time for both, that's excellent, but I doubt it. And let's go through this kind of template. I am starting the timer for 3 minutes. And you can shut down the music if you want, remember. Okay, so Bogdan is inviting us to write on stickies, on the pink stickies.
In case you need them.
Yes.
I wrote on a red sticky from the reef, and now I have to carry the sticky down there.
Yes. Or you can just Control C, Control V, that works as well.
I really like to overcomplicate myself.
Mm.
Thank you for the advice.
Yeah, Miro kind of looks alien, I think, and sometimes we forget that the very simple things work in it. And we have 1 minute left to settle down our 15% solution. I'm not sure if you can hear, but my cat has started meowing. His dinner time is at 8 p.m. and he likes to let me know beforehand. So in case you hear some meowing, it's the cat. So I would like this kind of 15% solution to be written in this template, you know? So like I will find out, or I don't know, I will determine by tomorrow so that I gain multiple validation sources, for instance. So I would like there to be a verb, at least one verb inside. Bianca said, I will start writing down my ideal way starting from today so that by the end of the month I can put together a cohesive plan. Excellent. Excellent. Great. Good. And I hope that everyone has reached, you know, one of these 15% solutions, because the next invitation will be to discuss them in breakout rooms. So I will create 4 breakout rooms. We will have 3 or 4 participants in each room. And basically you guys will discuss why did you choose that particular reef anchor and not something else? What made that critical? Because, you know, a big part of the retrospective should be determining what is signal and what is noise. Then, what makes you so certain that the solution that you chose is actually doable? And what is the smallest thing that you can do tomorrow? Because today it's already evening. So what is the smallest thing that you can do tomorrow to reach your goal? And we will have these breakout rooms for 12 minutes. So that means that you each will have around 3 minutes to answer these kind of questions. And of course, if you need help from me, Bogdan, or Mihai, we are here and we can jump in. Does that sound good? Yeah, I'm seeing some thumbs up. So then I am opening the rooms. Have fun.
Raluca, I think we as co-hosts could join the rooms as well, right? It's just
yeah, I just didn't assign you, but I can assign you.
I will pick one room. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
We have to speak.
Avem și recording-ul cu mine, deci ar trebui să o păstrăm în engleză.
Okay.
Nice
Okay.
to see you again, Cristina, Claudiu. So I decided to join one of the breakouts because this exercise really helped me, and I want to share as well. So, but first, please, you go ahead, and I'll try to follow.
I must confess, I was not paying attention to what we need to do.
So the idea was using the Sailboat retrospective first start with a goal for 2025 that you personally had. And then identify some things that pushed you forward, some things that kept you busy and you couldn't progress. And those were the wins pushing you forward, or the anchors.
I've seen
keeping your
that.
progress.
But what we need to do now?
The last one was what's the 15% solution to fixing one of the risks you've identified?
Okay.
There is, I don't know, unforeseen problems, and you should have picked one of the risks there and come up with something you can change easily in a short time and with observable outcome. So,
So should we just analyze now the boards?
Yeah, I think we can talk about
discuss them.
Yeah, talk about what your challenge or risk was, Claudiu, and what was your 15% solution, how you decide to move forward.
So Mihai, do you want to start? You mentioned that you want to share.
I can just make
just to give us an example.
Yeah, just to give you my example. So my example of a goal for 2025 was to create a product management portfolio of training for PM Access. So product management is not something we covered in the past, so I'm working on this, and that's a very ambitious goal. And one of the risks I saw with this is, can I have the right positioning on the marketing or on the market, on the local Romanian market with this? And can I make this public? And can I become known, or can I get the market aware that we're providing product management training? And you have to start somewhere, right? So what I picked as a solution, 15% solution, is to create a habit for myself of 30 minutes per day, reading content, creating content on product management topic. So, for example, by next week on Wednesday, I can start to contribute with 2 weekly posts on the subject, just to raise awareness in the market.
Nice.
So tomorrow I will start reading for 30 minutes, and if something pops up, I will also try to write something. And the next day, I'll take a week of doing that, and by Wednesday next week, I should have some meaningful content to post on the subject. Okay, and if I do,
looking forward,
I reach my 15% goal. That's my example. Thank you.
Great. Actually, I'm in the same direction, because this challenge that I took this year to close with the corporates and to do my own business also relates somehow with what you are saying, Mihai. And my problem is that I was not visible at all until January this year. So my 15-minute solution was to post something meaningful for the network, and have a cadence, a frequency on LinkedIn. And yeah, I think it's I think now it is measurable by looking on the likes and reactions that I have on each post on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Or at least the frequency of your contributions, your posts, because that's an easy measure, right?
Yeah, but my objective was also to have value, and to increase my.
Okay, so the thumbs up or the reactions would confirm that value. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. They're pretty much related, Christina. You're right.
Yes, exactly.
We should get talk about this.
Yeah. Please, let's.
Okay. I'm just starting, but yeah, I'll try to make the most of it. Claudio, do you have some challenge or risk to address in
Yes.
a 15% solution to share?
It was an anchor that I realized that I have, and it was dragging me down in all my objectives. So it was the multi-focusing. So I was chasing a lot of goals and reaching none. So what I've done, 50% measure, was that I also included AI in the wins. And this is because I used AI to remind me every day to set up an objective, a daily objective. So he was asking me in the morning what's today's goal, but it has to be only for today, something that I will truly do today. And at the end of the day, the AI was reminding me and asking me if I managed to reach that goal and what's the goal for tomorrow. So I created this this routine on starting the day with what's my objective for today, the smallest thing that I can do today, and at the end of the day to finish the day with, let's say, with the sun, with the results. That's okay. What happened today? And what I observed is that besides my daily objective, I was also doing some other things, and I was quite happy to see, okay, besides the main goal, I also managed to do some other things. And I think this cleared a little bit the perspective for me. So today I'm focused on doing just this thing.
Great.
I'm curious about this, Claudio, really.
Yep.
I'm sure if, I don't know, a colleague or a friend would have asked you the same thing in the morning. Hey, Claudio, what's your focus for today? What's your goal for today? It would have been a bit of more pressure than the AI asking. So did this influence that it was not a real person asking you about that? Did this thing influence your commitment to your goal? How did you feel about it? It was like somebody familiar asking and having to answer a real person, or it felt a bit different?
I think it was easier with the AI because I think I was more sincere with the AI because I was thinking that it's just I have there only my thoughts, and it's like a diary for me. If I would have had somebody else, probably I would have felt some guilt. For example, if I didn't manage to reach my goal today, I was feeling bad to to call a friend and tell him, okay, today I didn't manage to reach my goal.
So you think you were more open, more
yes, I think it was easier.
sincere with your answers.
It was like talking to myself. So it's just.
But it kept reminding you, right?
Exactly.
Because for talking with yourself, you might have skipped it unintentionally.
Exactly. It's good because I receive a notification on my phone, on my email. So every morning and every evening, I receive this reminder that I need to set up the goal.
Interesting.
Nice. Actually, yeah, it's a very good idea. I think I will borrow it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. And if you have, I think you need the premium account on
so you got this as a notification, Claudio, or an email, or what?
It's both. Just to be sure, it's both an email and
it's pushing.
Exactly. I wanted, and I think ChatGPT asked you at the beginning. I asked him to be my coach, so he asked you if you want him to be pushy or just to be detached, relaxed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I asked him to be as pushy as possible.
Okay.
To make sure that he will not skip anything.
And you are having ChatGPT 5 now already, yeah? If you have a subscription,
yes.
And how much do you pay? Just for my curiosity.
I think it's 100 lei.
Oh, so yeah.
It's
not the pro version. Is the paid version, but not the pro one.
It's not the pro. Yeah, that's right. I don't need the pro. It's more than enough. This advanced version.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, it has a limited number of of reminders, but it's enough for something
it went for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I also, because I always tried to track my actions, to have let's say a big Excel file where I track all my actions to see, maybe to calculate the results at the end of a month or a specific period of time. But I was never too disciplined to do that Excel file. I always start in the first week. I'm a pro at doing it, but after a while, I just forget about it or it becomes boring. So I did the same thing with the ChatGPT. So I worked with him on creating an Excel file with the actions. For example, tracking my to-do, if I did sports today, some basic things. And I ask him every day to update my Excel file. And he's doing this. I'm
nice.
the happiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Claudio. It's inspiring idea. And
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I was trying just to to make sure that if you look to my board, I included there an anchor is laziness, because sometimes I get really lazy, especially when things related to discipline, for example, doing an action every day. I can do it just for a while, then I get bored. So I tried to use ChatGPT in keeping this discipline, because I'm not able to. So it's good to have somebody to do this.
Right.
Great. Thank you.
I guess we need to return.
Yeah, I think we wrapped it up, so we can return early. I think we still allow 40 seconds or so, but we can get to the main room if you agree.
Yep.
Okay.
I think most of the people are back, but not all people yet.
Yeah, there was still some 1 minute time counter allowing us to close our conversations. So
Yes.
depending on where each room was with that, they might be delayed with a few seconds.
Yes, of course. So how was it for the guys who did come back?
We're back.
Welcome back. How was this discussion? Did you find any patterns, any similar things?
If
I would say that we are all motivated to do some changes in our lives.
That's excellent news, Anna. Thank you. Okay. So
I think one pattern that we discussed about in our group was the fact that we tend to get lost in day-to-day stuff that steal us away from our personal professional goals, and that's something we need to be careful of.
okay. Fair point. Thank you, Christina, for sharing. Victor, what would you like to add?
What I've seen, and it was a word used quite a lot, it was accountability. And I was also telling my colleagues that what I like about the phrasing of the 50% solution is that it's deeply rooted into psychology. And the way it's put, it makes it really assertive, and it makes you accountable for that.
Yes, exactly. It's a well thought structure, which aims at making something small enough, like it's a small bite. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it, but it kind of helps you to keep going. Yeah. Thank you. So just to wrap up, I would like to invite you back to the Miro board, or in case you are on your phone and you don't really have access to it, that's okay as well, because you can write in chat and we can paste the answers in the Miro board without any kind of problem. But I'm curious, what is one idea or one concept which you are taking away with you in your retros or in your overall activity? And just like take a post-it, choose a color, and write down if it's something useful for you. And for those of you who are on your phone, you can write in chat and I can copy paste them on the board. I like that someone brought their duck on the board. Dino duck.
I almost thought it was my giraffe, but it doesn't have the tail.
No, that's my Sora duck. It's not my duck,
okay.
it's the Sora duck.
Damn it, Victor, I almost created manually something which was AI generated. I don't need to be proud.
You're also 5% GPT.
Okay, so we already have a couple of things. So first my duck, second the wording in the 15% solution example. Start using the Sailboat retro format as it's so targeted and visual. I'm glad you found some value in it. Think small so that you can implement it faster. Yes, agility itself. 15% solution. Self-retrospection. Okay, self-retrospective introspection is a very good exercise for embracing continuous improvement, especially if you run it frequently. Yes. 15% solution, automate daily progress tasks. Check. Sorry, then we have Mihai, and I will copy paste it here. The more detailed structure and questions. Taking small notes. Yes, very good takeaway. Thank you. Check the progress, ask the proper questions. Yes, that's a very easy way to get a lot of wins. and manage my life with the same confidence and solution-oriented mindset with which I manage my projects. Wow, that's so nice. I love that. Seems like we got some valuable stuff going from this hour and a bit, which we spent together. And if I were to try to implement some things in your brains, this would be it. 15% today beats a potential 100% tomorrow, all of the time. Small habits are the ones that actually drive big goals. So very small things are the ones that actually drive big goals. And the future is built on brave iterations, not on perfect plans. Because perfect plans are very intimidating, and most of the time they are actually off-putting and they don't motivate us. It's the reverse kind of psychological effect in our brains. So thank you so much for playing with me this evening and for being so active on the board and in the chat. And I also have another post-it from Anka, which I did not see, but I will copy-paste it. So the sailboat method. Great. Thank you very much. It was lovely being here with you guys, and I will pass the mic to Mihai.
Yeah, thank you, Raluca. This exercise inspired all of us, I'm sure. We're pretty common with doing retrospectives with your teams, all of us, but how often do you do a retrospective with yourself? That was a very generous exercise, and thank you for walking us through it, Raluca. This felt amazing. You don't always take the time to reflect on your actions, and maybe this is not just something for the end of the year. Maybe August was an excellent occasion to do that. I'm taking it forward to our organizing host, Christina. She's going to wrap this up and also introduce the next opportunities to meet for this autumn.
Thank you, Mihai. Thank you, Raluca. This was really nice for me, this event, because Sailboat is my favorite way of doing retrospective. And this brought some memories from the beginnings when we used to draw these on a board with a pen. And they didn't look this pretty as the board that you had now. So it was really nice for me to attend this. From an Agile Minds Romania perspective, as you guys are used to, we always announce a new event at the beginning of the end of the last one. This time is going to be an on-site face-to-face gathering because we received that feedback from the community, and everybody likes face-to-face meetings. And we have another corporate sponsored one on October 1st, which will be announced publicly next week. But given that you're here, you'll have the chance to enroll early. We are being hosted by our friends from DKV Mobility. They have an office around Victory Square in Bucharest. And the main topic is Agile beyond software development. So we are trying to explore how can we implement Agile in teams that don't do software development. So if you are part of one of those teams, or you work in a company that only implemented Agile in the development teams and now are looking to expand that beyond, that's the event for you. And you'll have the chance to meet with leaders, with practitioners, with people that may have the same questions or challenges like you. And we can discuss and inspire each other when we meet on October 1st on this event. As usually, this is a limited attendance event, so RSVP fast so you can book a spot. We have a limited space where we can meet, so the faster you join, the sure you'll be that you can join us. I'll share the link in the chat if it's already available on Meetup, but it wasn't announced yet. We will make a public announcement next week. So see you all on October 1st, hopefully on this nice event. Until then, thank you, Raluca. Thank you. It was nice seeing you in this community also, and thank you for making the time to share this with us. We'll follow your progress on the channels. If you're not following Raluca on LinkedIn, please do. She's always posting interesting stuff. She posted one amazing one today, so you might want to check it out. And for Agile Minds Romania as well, we have a LinkedIn page you can follow just to keep posted with our next events if you're not already there. So this was it. Thank you all for joining. We hope you had fun and you also learned something.
Thank you very much, Raluca, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Much.
Bye-bye. Have a nice evening.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.